It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
In the criminal justice system, sexually-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Hello, my name is Brian, and this is a story time about the time my wife of 4 years completely blindsided me and left me. Now, I know there's a lot of friends and family of hers that follow me on here, and they may have some opinions on what I'm about to say, but the fact of the matter is this is my truth, and I'm not here to protect anybody's feelings. You may also be asking why I'm using a public platform to talk about this. And it's because it's healing for me. It's healing to talk about it, and I also get to look back and see how far I've come. So we'll go back to September 15th, 2024. It was on a Sunday, and we had a bit of a disagreement. And she basically stated that she didn't feel connected to me anymore. And after a bit of talking, we decided that we were going to go to marriage counseling and work things out. The next day, on Monday, September 16th, she gets home from work and I have dinner ready for her. I serve her, I sit down, I begin eating, and I ask her, hey, what's your availability like this week? And she asked for what? And I tell her, I said, I think I found a really good marriage counselor that you'd like, and I wanted to know when you're available so we can go and see them. And she's there with her food, moving it around, and she doesn't say anything to me. She's completely quiet. So I get up, I finish eating, I get up, I go to the laundry room and I move the clothes that are in the washer into the dryer. I take out the clothes out of the dryer and I start folding them. And she walks past me and goes into our bedroom, and she comes back out with a bag. And she says, I'm sorry, I can't be here right now. I have to go, but I'll be back tomorrow. So I said, okay. And I gave her space. Tomorrow rolls around. It's now Tuesday. And it's now 8 p.m. and she's still not home. I haven't spoken to her. She normally gets home around 6 p.m. So I call her. And I asked her, I said, hey, are you coming home? And she says, no, I want a divorce. I don't want to work on things, and there's nothing that you can do. And I start crying, and I start begging her, please, please, please. And that's when she tells me, she says, I don't love you. I never loved you. The only reason I married you is because I felt like my biological clock was running out and that you were safe. And that the only reason that I stayed with you is because I felt bad because you didn't have a mom. Because my mom died back in 2019. So I was crushed. I hung up the phone with her. And I went on Facebook. And I made a stupid post, and I put that I was single and that I was looking for a divorce attorney and I needed a real estate agent. And I quickly deleted that post because I realized how stupid it was. But I wasn't thinking logically at the time. My whole world had been shattered. Since this has happened, I've been going to therapy weekly, and a lot of times, they say the women, they check out mentally, and it's the men that don't see. And so when she finally leaves, to them, it was so sudden, so blindsided, but for her, she had been thinking about this for a long time. But the crazy thing is there really wasn't any signs that this is where we would be. Looking back, there were little things here and there, but nothing crazy. Something that stood out to me a lot is for Labor Day, we decided to go to Atlanta, Georgia and visit the Georgia Aquarium because she wanted to go to an aquarium. And I told her, I was like, we have a 3-day weekend coming up. Let's go to the best aquarium in the United States. So we decided to fly to Georgia and we decided to go to the aquarium. And that entire time that we were there, I couldn't do anything right. She was constantly scolding me for every little thing that I did. So it's an aquarium, so you know how it's dark in aquariums. She would ask me to take a picture of her like in front of the sharks. And you know how the iPhones have that low light setting, so you have to stay still for like 3 seconds. Well, I would take the picture, and by the time the photo was taken, the shark was gone. And then I tried to take a picture without the low light, and you couldn't see anything. It was just blue, and you could see an outline of her and the shark. And I tried to take it with a flash, and there would be glare from the glass of the aquarium. And she'd get mad at me, and I remember her snatching the phone out of my hand and getting upset with me. And I kind of told her, like, hey, is everything okay? And I noticed that. And then another big one is, we were in a new city and exploring, and I would point things out to her, and I'd be like, oh, look at this, look at that. And she would ignore me. She was on her phone, and I would point out something like, oh, look at that. And she wouldn't look up. She completely ignored me. So I mentioned that to her, and I told her, hey, when you do this, it kind of hurts my feelings. And she told me, she's like, well, you point out everything. You're so annoying. And I told her, I was like, well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to share my world with you. So there were things like that happening, leading up to this. But I never thought that we would be here. I've gotten so much better. I'm in a really, really good place mentally. But I have so many unanswered questions, and honestly, it's been very confusing for me. I'm not ashamed to admit that I loved her with everything that I had. I feel like I treated her very good. Friends and family that knew us, how she would talk about me, and you knew how I treated her. And I just never expected this. I understand wanting the divorce. We have one life to live and we should be happy. So I get that. It's just the way she left it's what she told me over the phone. And I'll be completely honest, being in love with someone and my mistake, but having your happiness tied to their happiness and relying on them so much for your happiness, which was a mistake on my part, and then being told that they don't love you and they never did, it really, really messes with my perception of love. It's very, very confusing. Now, I'm not perfect. I won't talk about what she did, and what she didn't do. But I'll talk about me. I'll put out there what I did. A lot of the times I invalidated her feelings. I did. There were issues and things going on with her. And I didn't create that safe space for her. And, as men, a lot of the times you want to problem solve, you want to fix things. So when she come to me with a problem, I was always very logical. I always came with solutions, and she didn't want that. And sometimes people just want to be heard and want to be listened to. They don't need you to save them, they just want to be heard. And that was something that I didn't do. So this has definitely, been a learning experience for me. But there's also another, I don't know if I have enough time to talk about it, but there was also something that happened, and I'll talk about it very quickly before I end this video because I'm almost out of time. But I remember one time we were laying in bed and she randomly told me, she's like, you know, when I married you, I didn't love you. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, when I married you, I didn't love you. And I was confused. She's like, well, I knew that I could love you, but I didn't love you. Now, before I get into it, there's a few things that I'd like to address. Number one, I see comments about how women always leave signs. There's always signs. It's the men that choose to ignore it. The fact of the matter is there really wasn't any signs. We were both happy, or so I thought. Evidently, you know, only one of us was happy. But this really was an impulsive decision that had consequences for both of us. Number two is sometimes men can be good and women can do things that hurt men. Just like women can be good and men can do things that hurt women. This is not a gender-specific issue. People are people. People will do things that hurt other people. It happens. Number three, I never said that I was upset or have an issue with her leaving. If you're not happy, if I'm not making you happy, please leave. You deserve to find that happiness. My only issue was how she left. There's different ways to go about it, and there's certain things that don't need to be said. Now, another thing that I'm also understanding is apparently women are at greater risk of violence when they're leaving a relationship. So that was something that I didn't realize. So maybe that played into a factor. I don't know. I'm not a violent person. She knows me. I would never, do anything to intentionally hurt her. That is a true statistic that women are more prone to violence from their, romantic partner when they're leaving a relationship. So, maybe that's my privilege of being a man that, I never thought about. And the last thing I want to address is, this is my side of the story. There are more sides to the story. There's her side of the story. There's my side. I'm not going to get into everything. There are certain things that I'm leaving out because it's not my story to tell, and it doesn't contribute, saying certain things. So I'm not going to put that out there. But before I ended, I had said about, the time we were laying in bed and she told me randomly, when I married you, I didn't love you. And I was like, what? And she repeated herself. She's like, when I married you, I didn't love you. And I asked her, then why did you marry me? And she's like, well, I knew that I could love you, but I wasn't in love with you. And I was like, okay. And she said, but now, I'm in love with you. I'm so in love with you. You mean everything to me. And yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, all right, okay, you didn't love me when you married me, but we're good now, right? Because you're so in love with me. So all right, we're good. Another thing is I was never her person. She made that known. She would tell me, you're not my person. When I wanted insights about her life and when I would ask her, how's your day? And it wasn't just small talk. I genuinely wanted to know, how was your day? She wouldn't want to talk about it. And she told me, you're not my person. There were certain things that, she felt like she couldn't confide in me. And that's partly my fault. I take blame for that. So let's get into what I did. What I have identified as what I did to cause the ending of this marriage. Like I had mentioned before, I didn't create this emotional safe space for her. And there were times when she felt like I was belittling to her. I have a certain personality. We were raised very, very different, and we were both very, very different. We both had very different ideas of what a family dynamic should be. Her way wasn't right. Her way wasn't wrong. My way wasn't right. My way wasn't wrong. But I believe in a marriage, you have to compromise, and there needs to be, some sort of level ground. And unfortunately, we never got there. I bent, and I continued to bend and abandon, some of my upbringing and my beliefs to appease her. And in the end, I think it just became too much. But she told me that in our marriage, sometimes she felt like she wasn't being heard. And she also felt like she could never do anything right. And I get it. I felt the same way sometimes. And when you're in a marriage, you shouldn't have to be walking on eggshells. And a lot of it came down to communication. She would come to me with issues and things that I would do to upset her. And instead of listening and, really, really taking it to heart, I would try to justify my behavior. And I would be like, no, I'm not trying to do this. I'm doing this because of this. And the way I justify it in my head is I felt like if I would just be like, okay, well, that's, solidifying what she's saying, that, okay, if I just say okay and move on, then I am, actively trying to be a mean person to her, trying to belittle her, trying to hurt her feelings. So I would try to explain myself as to why I was acting the way I was acting. And in the end, that did more harm than good. And I do realize that now, and it's too late, but it comes down to just a difference in personality. One example that I can give that happened, one of the last, interactions that we had as a couple is when she was driving, she was backing into our garage and she almost ran into, the wall in the garage. And I yelled out, I said, "Hey, watch out." And she got upset with me. She said that I was belittling her, speaking to her that way. And I explained to her, I said, I'm not, getting after you or being mean to you. I'm trying to put emphasis on the words. And I tried to explain it kind of like, if you see a kid running into traffic, you're not going to be like, "Hey, watch out." No, you're going to be like, "Hey, watch out." Like, you're going to raise your voice. You're going to put emphasis. You're not getting mad. You're not upset. You're just trying to, put emphasis. And throughout our whole entire marriage, I think there was just a lot of misunderstandings between the both of us. But I did change my ways, but in the end, it wasn't enough, because at the end of the day, I still am who I am, and I communicate the way I communicate, and this had never been an issue until I met her. But good for her for, setting that boundary and saying, I'm not going to accept this anymore. I can't fault her for that. And one last thing I also want to address is people saying, "Oh, you're like virtue signaling and about, cooking and cleaning." Yes, I cooked, I cleaned, I did the laundry, I took care of the house, I took care of the bills. We shared finances, but I made sure the bills were paid. It's 2025. There's no men's job, woman's job. I can cut grass. I can change the oil in the car. I can go wash dishes. And the reason that I did this for her is
Can she
because I
change
think
oil?
my main love language is acts of service. I like to give. She had a long commute to work. She spent about 2 hours every day on the road, and she had a stressful job. And at that time, I was working from home. So hell yeah, if I can lighten the load from her and, take that burden off of her back and have dinner ready for her when she gets home and not have to have her worry about anything, and she can get home, she can have a nice home-cooked meal ready for her to eat, and then we can go relax and watch TV. If I can do that for her, then hell yeah, I'm going to do that for her. But in the end, it wasn't enough, and that's okay. I identify what I did wrong and my faults, and I think that's the first step in healing. You know what, fuck it, I'll keep going. All right, so part 3. So right after, she drops this bomb on me, I call her parents, and I'm like, "Hey, can we talk?" They're like, "Sure." So it's her mom, her dad, her sister, and my brother-in-law, and we all meet at their house, and we have a really good talk. And I have tremendous respect for her family. I still talk to her mom and her dad to this day. Nothing but love, nothing but, tremendous respect for them. And honestly, that's something that's been really, really hard for me, because I'm not just grieving the loss of her, of a life, of a future, of all these plans and everything like that, but I also lost a family. Her family and I were really close. We spent a lot of time together, and I miss them. I miss them tremendously. They're great, amazing people. They always welcomed me with open arms. They're just really, really great people. But, we had a nice talk, and that was that. And I remember her mom told me, like, don't think that we're, supporting this decision or something like that. And she said, "I already told her that our house, like, this is your house too, and you're always welcome here. And, she's just gonna have to deal with that." And, that meant a lot to me. But that kind of sums up her family and how her parents were. They were always very fair. When she was wrong, they would let her know, "Hey, you're wrong." Same thing with me. So I have tremendous respect for them. Anyways, after, the initial shock of all this, her and I end up meeting at a coffee shop and kind of just going over, I guess, the logistics of, what's going to happen and how everything is going to go. And we talk about this for a little while, and it's probably been a week, since we sat down, and a week since she's left. And that talk goes good. And then she comes over to the house, and I send her an email and basically outline, like, hey, I fucked up. This is what I did. Can we fix this? And that's when I knew that we were through. She came over, and I was sitting on the couch, and she stood up the whole time I was there, and she had her arms crossed like this. And I was pouring out my heart to her, and I told her, I said, I realized, that I wasn't who you needed me to be. And I told her, like, I feel like we can fix this, we can work on this. I told her, I said, I love you, I care about you, and, I can't see my life without you. And the entire time she's standing there like this. And after I'm done talking, she tells me, she says, well, thank you for saying that. Or no, she's like, well, thank you for telling me that, but I've made my decision. And my options were, I said, can we try a separation? You keep living, you keep doing what you're doing. Because as soon as she left, she turned off her location. She went and got her phone line switched from our joint account to her own account. She immediately opened a new bank account so she could be on her own. Like, immediately severed any ties that we had together. So I told her, I said, hey, I'm not sure if this is the right move. Can we, let's look into maybe 3 to 6 months separation? And she said no. Like, thank you, I've made my decision. And I told her, I said, I love you, and I now realize, I know what it means now when they say when you love someone, you'll let them go. And I told her, I said, I'm letting you go. I'm closing the door, and I'm gonna move on. She was like, okay. And that was that. She left. The divorce ends up being non-contested, so that means we both agree that we're gonna split the assets. We're not fighting over anything. We don't have no kids. So I meet with her at Starbucks, and I sit down, I get all the paperwork together, and we go through everything. We fill everything out that we need to fill out. And I tell her, I said, all you have to do is go online, do this is how you file it, this is what you got to do. She's like, okay. And I wait, I don't remember if it's a week or 2 weeks, but it's either a week or 2 weeks, and nothing. And I finally ask her, I'm like, hey, have you filed for divorce? And she gives me excuses. She's like, no, I haven't done this. I've been busy. And I kind of go off on her, and I tell her some stuff, and I kind of, cuss her out a little bit and tell her, like, I don't want to be married to you anymore. Like, get this through your head. Like, I'm done with you. Like, I asked you to do one simple thing, and you can't even do it. And stuff like that. It wasn't, my proudest moment.
No.
And I was like, you know what? I'll file. Like, don't even worry about it. And I hang up the phone to her. And the next day I take off work, and I go down to the courthouse, and I file for a divorce. That was on October 15th. I officially filed for divorce. And there is a 60-day waiting period. So the way it works in my county in Texas is that you have to jump on a Zoom call. And if anybody is associated with the Bexar County Courthouse, like, that's crazy. Like, what you have to get on a Zoom call, and it's only between a certain time that they'll see you, and the Zoom call isn't even first come, first served. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if they just pick and choose however they want to see you. So long story short, starting December 16th, I can finally jump on the Zoom call and start trying to finalize my divorce. So that's what I've been doing. Since December 16th, I've been logging in, and I've been trying to get this divorce finalized. But I cannot successfully get into the Zoom call to get it finalized. So if anybody has any, advice on how to get the ball rolling any quicker, I'm all ears. I'm happy to hear it. So yeah. I mean, I think we're good. We're on good terms, we talk here and there. We had a conversation last week, and I kind of said some things that I need to get off my chest. and I used some profanity. My therapist commends me on that. She said that, that was a conversation that was a long time coming. It was something that you had to do. And I record a lot of my therapy sessions. So if y'all want to hear like some of the input about what I did and my therapist's reaction, I will gladly post that. I'm trying to be very transparent about this whole situation. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm just kind of waiting to get this all finalized. I guess I'll make another video. I guess I'll talk about how we met and why I smacked my head on the concrete why I fell so hard for her. But yeah, it's just looking back and reminiscing. I know that I need to move on, and I'm not like stuck in the past or anything like that. It's part of the healing process. It's all part of the healing process. I'm so proud of myself where I am right now and where I am today mentally, because I was bad. I was in a really bad place. I didn't eat for almost 2 weeks. I took off a week and a half from work. I was sleeping all day. And then I went from sleeping all day to staying up for days at a time. And then I dream about her, and I was like, I can't even escape you in my sleep. But now I'm in such a really, really good, healthy place mentally. And I am a huge advocate for mental health. If you are going through anything like this or any struggles that you're facing, try therapy. Reach out. Therapy works wonders. Or if you just want to talk to someone, like, hey, hit me up. We can talk. But I'm not a therapist, but I love Chisme, so I'll listen to you. But go to therapy. Please go to therapy. It helps tremendously. And you're not weak when you know you need help. This video has been brought to you by therapy. Remember, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help. If you got issues, I got tissues.
That shit is real. Y'all think Elon knows what the fuck he's doing? There's no real girl code. It's what I call bitch politics. You know what women want most of all? More. Exactly. Whatever it is they want. More. It's time to join the movement. GYP, get your balls back. They don't understand. I'm giving you the best of me so that I can fuck you. Okay. Once that's over, the contract is over. Right? Wrong. Everything your mama said, wrong. Fuck that bitch too. This is some stuff I pulled out of the Bible. Now, I don't believe in the Bible. And then the Lord said, 11 to 15, let a woman learn quietly with all submissiveness. Shut your mouth now.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional, and yes, we stay in the lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my player partner, Lucky Wills and Deals. Your boy keeps it lit. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Hit the link down below. We got HiveMindLabs.com where you can unbig that back. And bro, you know what I'm saying? Now you straight out of a divorce. You know what I'm saying? You got your divorce. Time to unbig that back, big dog. Get back on these Texas streets, big dog. You know how many fine women is off in Texas, and I guarantee you the one you had is a hard 6. Okay? She's medium ugly. Okay? She's not the kind that'll love you. She's the bitchy kind. Okay? So unbig that back and use the discount code everydaypj. Now let's get into it, man. Now y'all heard the intro. The intro was from the Beige Phillips podcast. Now, I once talked about this on an episode before about another guy who was having girl problems with his wife. And again, same situation. And I just want to tell y'all that I too was having woman issues. Now, not these type of woman issues, but woman issues, because learning to not be so nice. What this man has a problem is being too nice. Now, you can still be nice, don't ever not be nice. That's not what I'm saying. But you don't have a boundary of being nice. You gotta set a boundary. Okay? I'm gonna just give you an example. So once I had an ex that wanted to invite me somewhere, even though we not seeing eye to eye. But in light of opening up the lines of communication, she reaches out and asks to, get together and do something. And I said, I answered the phone. Hello, what's going on? I asked to do something. You know what I said? No. She asked again, you don't want to do anything? No. I didn't say hell no. I didn't say F no. I just said no. No emotion. She check out, you check out too. What they want you to do is be nice. Now, because you've been too nice, sometimes you gotta check yourself. Now, women got this thing. Women can really run you down if you let them. Women will tell you they gonna run you down. Women will distinctively tell you, I can run circles around him. And we be like, no, you can't. Then guess what? You get with her. She be Sonic the Hedgehog and you be that fat robot man, Mr. Robotic. Just running around knocking all the coins out your ass. Okay? Now, I know the show now. I'm going to suggest it, Beige Phillips. Now you need to go back to the original Beige Phillips show. You can check out Man School 202, but Beige Phillips, go to the old Beige Phillips episodes, right? Understand that this man brought out a whole nother beast of a man in myself when it comes to relationships. Alright? Now, the only part that I fell short on is being in a overusing it. Because you can overuse what you do. Like, you can be a man and be firm with what you're doing, but you still gotta be a one-woman man. You can't be a firm man with principalities and you out here cheating, because then you out here lying and not standing on principalities. What you want to do is stand on principalities. This man already got the principles. You just need the heart behind whatever it is. He don't have a heart for it. He's kind soul. He understood what his woman needed. Hey, she got a 10-hour work day because she got an hour. She wake up, technically 11 hour. Wake up, get dressed for an hour, drive an hour to work 8 hours, and drive an hour home. That's 11 hours. Probably have an hour lunch. That's 12 hours. So when you put it like that, you be like, man, she had a long day. She spend more time away from home than she have at home. And then when she get home, all she want to do is relax, watch a little TV. Luckily, y'all don't have no kids together, because that would be horrible. Why would you want kids with this woman? She told you for a long time ago, and bro missed the signs. But you know what? The signs weren't there for him. Nobody was there to tell him, you know what? I don't think she's the woman for you. When she would tell him these crazy things like, I wasn't in love with you. No one told him, like, bro, She told you that? Yo, she told you that? No, you gotta talk to her and tell her, if you don't love me and you marry me, then why would you marry me? Why would you make that type of commitment to me? And why would you lie to me? So you gotta take her and hold her accountable for that lie. Because it's death to us part. I don't know if you paid attention to your vows, but you gotta tell her, those were our vows. You said that you loved me unconditionally, but that ain't what you showing. I mean, I know people lie about their vows all the time. It's a fact. But in a marriage, it's different. So I'm not saying when she come home, be like, I ain't cooking. You cook. Or when the dishes are dirty, you say, I ain't cleaning the kitchen. You clean the kitchen. I ain't saying all that. But when you say stuff like, there are no man and woman roles in the house. I can mow the lawn. I can wash the car. I can do the dishes. Yeah, you can. What can she do? Because she ain't mowing the damn line. She not changing the oil. She not changing no light bulbs. Okay? So there are roles. And she not playing none. Okay? That's the role. She not playing it. So when you working at home, you're accessible. So she used that accessibility to her favor. I bet while you were at home, she had you running errands. She had you doing things that she could not do while she was at home. She had you doing things that she could not do while she was at work. And you would do it. You would put your little computer thing on so it would keep the mouse moving, so it didn't so it would keep the mouse moving, and you could just leave and go to work or go to the store, whatever, for 5 minutes to get whatever she needed and come right back. Yeah, you did that. It's not a secret. I know, because I've been there. But what you didn't do is say, ma'am, you know how many stores you pass on the way home? Stop at one of them. When you get here, I'm going to have dinner made. You can stop you can even go a step. It just depends. Like unless you need something to cook, then you can go to the store for it. But other than that, stop at the store. You gotta let her know when she being inconsiderate. But you can still go out your way for your woman. You can be like, man, I know. Sometimes you gotta be like, man, I know she being inconsiderate, but I just don't want to hear her mouth. I don't got time for it. She ignorant. But just know that all those times of being ignorant, all those times of putting off stuff and putting off on you, that's building onto you, all that stuff, and you holding that in, that's gonna bottleneck, and it's gonna open you up, and it's gonna burn in your soul. So you gotta let it out. You can't hold it in and let it all out at once. You gotta gracefully, you gotta get it out. You gotta figure out how to start letting that stuff out. Like, hey, look, we gotta sit down and talk this. We ain't gotta talk about it. We ain't gotta talk it out about nothing. You gonna either respect this, or we gonna finish this. And that's what you did. Like when you had an argument, or you had to blow up on her about not filing the paperwork. You see what she did? She was checked out the relationship. She wanted a divorce. But, I'm too busy, and you blew up on her. You ain't too busy, you lazy. She been that way. You should have told her. You should have went and filed in the first place. Like, this is why I want to divorce you. You should have took that from her anyway. Man, sign these papers. Let me go file these, because we can be done. Take that from her. You win. Stop letting her win. She won. From you blowing up on her and then you having to go do it, she won. You should, hey, sign these. These will be in the mail today. Holla at you. I don't have to see you no more. You gotta start taking power from these chicks. We ain't talking about like make them be submissive and overbearing. This ain't the Middle East. This ain't the Middle East. We ain't talking about playing mind games. Women play mind games. You just demand your respect. Demand the respect then, and if you tell a chick, hey, all right, you could tell a chick, if she not respecting you, tell her, let her know. You don't respect me, whatever. What's she gonna do? She gonna continue to disrespect you, be like, all right, whatever. Stop playing her games. Stop playing her games. Or if you're gonna play her games, or if you're gonna listen to her play her games, play them with her. Play the games right along with her. She don't like the games. She like the games she play on you. But she don't like the games when you play back. She only like them because they hurt you. When the games hurt you, then she like them. When they don't hurt you, and you play them back with her, then, man, you better get your balls back, dog. Stop playing that. I be telling, boy, I'm telling you. I don't play. I'm not gonna argue with no chick. I'm not finna give up nothing for no chick. I'm not finna lay down for no chick. I'm not finna go round and round for no chick. I'm not finna go out of my way for a chick. I'm finna, like, if you gonna sit around and play with me, I'm just gonna go be me. What I'm supposed to do? Argue with you? What I'm supposed to do? To get all emotional and be like, you know what? I feel disrespected. I feel this. Nah. You got it. That's all you gotta do. You don't gotta argue with no chick. You don't gotta sit there and talk to her. She wants you to get emotional. You're an emotional guy. You gonna walk right into her hands. You gotta stop being emotional with these chicks. All they gonna do is turn around and use it on you. They gonna turn around and use it on you. Don't find you a one that's those ones that's out seeking vengeance. The ones that like to get back at you because they mad. Oh, he not playing my game. So let me do this. Let me make a post on Facebook. Let me do this. See, when you made that post on Facebook, you messed up. You can't embarrass them. Why you want to embarrass them? Don't embarrass them. Just leave them alone. Show them that what they did to hurt you didn't hurt. Now, if it did hurt, get over it. I ain't saying suffer in silence. Go talk to a therapist if you want to. If that's what's gonna help you, go talk to a therapist. Get over that. Learn from that. Understand what you did wrong. When you understand what you did wrong, you can learn from that. You can understand what you did wrong, learn from it, and realize that if you over here helping this if you over here being too nice and she telling you that you not helping her out emotionally, or you're not her person because she's not able to open up to you emotionally, that is not your fault. That's her. So now you trying to change yourself and fix yourself to be emotional, be a different person for her. No, you ain't got to change. You are who you are. You are already emotional as hell. So why you need to change? He over here, she telling him this, and he trying to figure out, well, what did I do wrong? Or what? It ain't you. When did it become about you? She's telling you what she going through, and you looking like you did something wrong. Bro, you wrong for thinking that you did something wrong when it's her. But you could have did something wrong. She probably tell him, oh, he did this and he did that, and he just, when she told you was being annoying. Oh, I'm being annoying? I'm being annoying? Oh, you sure right. Alright. You sure right. Well, it's the last time I'm gonna be annoying to you. Don't be annoying no more. Don't be annoying no more. Be short with her. Be short with her. Don't show her nothing. She said you show her too much stuff. Don't show her nothing. Then she gonna be coming in there being like, you're gonna be watching the game, she gonna come in there and sit down, and she gonna be like, what's going on with the game? Or who's this? And who's winning? And it's just like, I'm watching it just like you is. Then she gonna be like, oh, that was rude. You could have just been like, then she gonna get up and walk out. Let her go. At this point, because what she do to you? She literally told you you was being annoying. So be annoying. And don't be annoying at the same time. Okay? When she ignored you, let her ignore you. Let her ignore you. You don't gotta go around singing. You don't gotta go around making yourself be known. When it's time for you to do whatever you gotta do, get up, put your 2 shoes on, walk out the house. Go do what you gotta do. Don't come back. Come back when you want to. Don't call in. Undo your location. Move around. Y'all gotta stop being simps to these. That's why they say that men are. So this is the thing. When you do stuff like this, when you start to give them the same that they give, this is what it. Oh, you sassy. You do this. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Y'all don't even know, man. Cause if that's all she said to make you hurt, that if she say all that to make you hurt, and then when you turn around and do more, and she turn around and say more to make you hurt, it's to make you hurt, dog. And it's to make you react. Don't react to it. Just do you. You know what? Be shady. Start commenting on people's page publicly. Make your Facebook public. Oh, you have a beautiful family. Tell the girl on Facebook. Tell the girl on Instagram. Oh, I just love your hair. She gonna be looking. She gonna be like, oh, why you commenting? Because I knew you was gonna look. You don't care? You got all this shit to say? You don't care about my feelings, but you care about what I tell everybody else. That's where you gotta. You want to play games? The game is being played. You don't want me being nice to you? I'ma still be a nice person. I'ma be nice to somebody. Hell, you don't want me being nice to you? This relationship is over. She done already checked out. She probably on to somebody else. Why you not? You should have, man. I ain't saying go be a cheater. I'm just saying don't look desperate. She think you not showing her that you anybody or somebody. You showing her that she's your all. If she your all and she your only, and that's your only option, that means she know you not going nowhere. Stop being the only option. Go get that hair trimmed up. Just go bald. Let that little bald spot go. Let that shit go. Let it go. Get out here and be sexy. Get your big ass some super fat burners. Okay? Start eating healthy. Exercise. Get sexy on her. Okay? Start winning in life. Start winning in life. Don't be a loser. Because when you win in life, she'll be back. And guess what? Let her sit there in the corner and look from afar. Looking at your Instagram. How many pictures he like? Like every bitch's picture. Big titties, big butts, big women, skinny women. All of them. Like them all. It don't even matter. Like them all. Shit. At this point, you gotta let her know. Let her know that she was your everything. And now she's nothing. Now, that was my toxic trait for today. I'm going back to being nice. I don't do that no more though. I'll be nice. But I don't be played with. I don't like being played with. So, I just be chilling. So I'm gonna just tell y'all, women, same thing with women, don't let dudes play with y'all like that. Like a dude playing with y'all, just don't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow him to go break his dick inside of another woman and then come and, bring his half a penis back up into your house. It's just a fact. Everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.